Okay, I want to say hi again everybody, it's only me, Wushu Richard. In this video I want to talk about a topic, okay, just from my own point of view, as always, okay. Also I want to say sorry about the wind that's blowing around here, okay, but we're here for another little pagoda chat. I'm sitting outside of this pagoda. It's a nice cool day actually. We've had some rain recently too. In this video I want to talk to you though, excuse me, about positivity, okay, I think it's a universal language. There is a universal language, as in it goes across all cultures. I believe it really does go all across all cultures. If you're positive or negative in yourself and how you carry yourself and your attitude towards people and just in your way every day, I believe it can affect yourself like a mirror, because you affect the world around you, you affect others, and you affect yourself, how people treat you back in return. Now this is obvious, right? Do you really need me or anyone to tell you, be positive and your life will be more positive? Some people will say, well no, you can't just smile all the damn time and live in a dream world, because at the end of the day, your life, that's not reality. You have to face the reality in this. You can't just have a feeling about what you do. But what I'm trying to say is, there's complexities like how you treat people. Some people, that's also another universal bullshit language, another one, where it's like if you're too nice, people say, oh, this guy's too nice, or this person's too friendly. What the fuck does that mean? If you're, as I've said before, if you're following somebody around every day and you're trying to make friends, like you're following them all the time, you're invading their personal space, their personal time, you're always in their face, then people will get sick of you. That's right, because you're not respecting their space and their privacy. So that will be like, you could say, too friendly. It's like in a negative way. But what I'm trying to say is, right, there's nothing wrong with good. No, I'm saying positivity is better than negativity. So positivity, if you don't say someone is too, you can't say something is too positive. Never get too much of a good thing in it. Always too much of a bad thing. But then you could say, well, we need challenges in our life, we need difficulties and stuff, so you can get an amount of negativity which is good for people. But no, because you're confusing good and bad, or hard and soft, or right and wrong. The problem is that using the usage of the word positive or negative. A challenge is not negative; it's a positive thing for you can get from it, right? I've always said we can learn from good and bad, so we can learn from positive and negative, positivity and negativity. We can learn from all of it, but we should learn to do. Now you have to also remember the world is happening all around you, it's not you controlling it, but everything you do in your life is coming from you. You are what creates the whole thing. So your attitude, your mindset, everything, into your way you carry yourself, your being, and the way you do. And when I say like the way you carry yourself, fuck me, what a damn ego and attitude type of way to even say this. The way you carry yourself. I carry myself in a confident manner. I use body language when I speak. I look someone in the eyes and I speak loud. All this stuff, the way you carry yourself. Carry what, man? You're carrying your carcass or what? No, that's just attitude as well. A lot of these things, fear, and the same as confidence too, and bravery, a lot of this stuff can affect us in a real way in our real lives. But at the end of the day, that's just what we're thinking in our mind. That is not the actual, it doesn't mean it is positive or negative. It isn't the actual power. It's not actually doing it. All it is a feeling. We can be wrong in our attitudes. We can believe whatever we want. We can give ourselves all kinds of illusions, You're brave. So does that make a situation more easy or difficult? When you're afraid of something, you've got fear, so does that make it more easy or difficult? No, the situation is what it is. Something is what it is. Something needs a certain thing. It doesn't matter how confident or afraid you are or whatever. This key works for this door, you know what I mean? This switch works for that light bulb. That's all there is to it, Now, I'm just saying, okay, that, people get confused too much. I think they get really confused. So what I'm going to say basically is, positivity and negativity, right? In the eyes of the beholder. Now, I'm just saying though, there are people that go around every day and they've got a very negative attitude. Let me give you a really good and some that are positive too. Let me give you a good example. I've been teaching as a teacher in colleges for years now, and I've found it. I mean, even today I had it again, but you see certain people, like certain students I have to teach who are in their early 20s or whatever, age-wise, young people they are. I'm 34, as I say, but some students are like 20s, early 20s. But I see them and they're like 18, 21-year-olds, and these students, they're just negative in themselves. I'm not going to go into what reasons, this is where people get confused. They say, yeah, because of their family situation, yeah, because of their stress, pressure in school and all this. I'm not talking about the reason. You're taking it down the lane of fucking the pages, page after page, before page. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying why. I'm saying fuck the why. And you might say, well, hang on, you can't say fuck the why and fuck the if. No, you can't say fuck the why and you can't say fuck the if, because the if's a big word. You need to address all these things, the steps that have led you to how you are today. You need to open your mind and think of what if and this and that. Yeah, I know all that. But the reality is what's happening fucking now and what you're doing. And you might say, well, listen, at the end of the day, shut up, Richard, at the end of the day, how do I know how someone's feeling, and what I say and what I do is going to really affect them in a certain positive way, and this or that, what I'm trying to say? Yeah, that's right, but I'm not saying you do it for people. You see what I'm saying? You change yourself for someone or change yourself so that something else happens. I'm not saying that. And then you may say, well, isn't that the same as having a key in your hand? You put the key into the hole, right? Because you want to open the door, right? You turn it because you want to open the door, right? What the fuck? That's why you've got that key cut, right? Things you can't say, Richard, that there's no logical sense in every step you take to get someone. You've got no plans and nothing. You know what I mean? How do we learn in life? How do we make things work? What the fucking hell am I talking about? Trying to advise everybody here. Isn't that, fucking teacher? What the fuck are you? What are people going on about? How we're going to run this fucking shit? I'm not saying, I'm not saying that, but what I'm trying to say is every moment is what it is. Every action is what it is, what I'm trying to say. Regardless of, the stone hits the water, the ripples spread out and all that stuff. We've talked about it before. I'm going to go into more topics on that kind of stuff as well in the future, more things. But I'm saying you can't always, if you focus on something else, that's all there is. The centre is what it is. The centre is what causes those ripples, right? So without going on about the if, the why, the blah, 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 without even going on about it, you have to address the thing. And the closest thing you can ever address is the closest whatever's to you. So you are in the centre. Now what I'm trying to say is positivity. There are certain students that of mine that are just positive all the time. Even when they're tired or got negative pressure in their life, they are polite to me and they smile and they're friendly and they're nice. There's other people that are just negative down. They just want to give up on their life. They look like they just give up on their life already, like 18, 21-year-olds, and they are absolutely, they've got no self-control. They're just absolutely down. There's nothing for them in life, and it's so, when you see that, you feel so pitiful for them. You feel, my goodness, a young person to waste their life like that. There's no ounce of positivity in them. It looks like they're just like they've given up on life. They feel like there's nothing there for them, and that's the wrong attitude. And what I'm trying to say is positivity. The people that it's the same with certain bosses and teachers and people in the offices and people I find here. The same thing, There's a lot of other areas I can go into as well about communication, different things here. But I'm just going to say, that some of those bosses and teachers, and people that I have to talk to. Some of those people, or not don't have to, but you know what I mean. You interact with on a daily basis. The people that you interact with on your daily life on a daily basis as well. No, but I'm just saying, the people that I meet, in my daily life, there's certain teachers, certain bosses and teachers that are so negative in themselves, and you can see it, because how could they not be negative in themselves for them to actually be negative outwardly, even in the slightest ways, So what I'm trying to say is, when someone is positive, though, with me, let's say, we're all human. You must have said something before in life and someone smiled, maybe, right? Or something. You've seen that it's had a good effect on someone. So I have it when certain teachers or certain people are just friendly to me too. Students or teachers or anyone. But it's like when someone is friendly, positive for no reason, or tries to make some honest, more humble communication, immediately you feel better. You have a kind of respect for that person, right? I speak as a human being and one of many. We're all here. We can all do it. I'm sure. When someone talks to you like a piece of shit, or when someone, excuse my language, or when someone tries to just looks down, on you and this or that, you straight away, I'm sure, you won't be very, you won't be happy. You won't feel positivity towards this person, will you? Or when you see someone just looking down, just there doing nothing, just wasting themselves, you think, my goodness, what a waste of life, right? You can't help them all and stuff, it doesn't matter what our attitudes are. I'm not talking about you should go over and tell the person to be happy or do this or do that and with your life. I'm not saying that. That's what people get confused too. But what I'm trying to say is, when you see someone who's just purely just negative, and they don't want to change it, they don't believe they can change it, they don't want to try and communicate, and then they look other people too who look down on people and bring people down, trying to bring everybody else down because they're not happy, you can only feel sorry for these people. You can only look at them and pity them. But for someone who's positive and polite, that can make you feel good for the rest of the day, right? It can give you some a good feeling about it. And people that are positive, you're going to have more people. If you're positive, you're going to have more chance, I'm saying, of people liking you. I'm not saying, again, back to that same topic, Mr. Nice again, you're too nice and friendly, Mr. or Mrs. Nice or whatever, and people look down on you because they're a stupid cunt and they want to, excuse my language, really, they want to put you down because of that. There's somebody there walking by. I'm not saying those people. I'm not saying that when you're being really you're being nice, but the people look at you like, you're too nice, you're too soft. Those people should go and see a doctor because they've got something fucking wrong with their head. I'm not talking about those people because that's their own choice. They choose to throw away this chance of making communication and contact with people. I just saw somebody walking past me there, just walking behind it. They probably think I'm crazy talking to myself. I'm talking to this camera. But I'm saying people will always think what they want to think. They'll always have their own ideas about life and things. But what I'm trying to say is, the most important thing right is, and this is from experience, and you can notice this yourself too. If you're positive with people, if you're positive with people most of the time, even the most nasty people, these people sometimes will recognise some form of positivity. They'll recognise a smile, they'll recognise something you've said or something you've done as a positive attitude, something you're doing for yourself. Now, I know one of my students, for example, who's always trying to talk with me. He was always coming up to me, always trying to make communication, even when she doesn't need to. She calls out, says hi when she sees me and stuff like that. Now, if someone who's always waking up with a smile on their face, ready to say hello to the world and trying to make communication, you might have loads of people that want to shit on you because they've been, they've poisoned their own minds with this negative attitude. But there's going to be loads of people that are going to gravitate to you too. They're going to like it because they might not understand you at first, and they may have been programmed to understand negativity from a young age. But in time, if they see you again, positive, they're gonna have no choice but to gravitate to you. Because in life, if that's survival, and we're all looking for positivity, really. And when most people you see around you, and most people that these negative people see around them, they also see that the world's usually very negative. People have got pressures. So many people are negative in themselves, So they're negative outwardly. So they're going to see that, and when they see that you are a positive person, they're going to like you. They're going to think this person's got a different attitude. This person, It's something good. Everybody gets bored of the same damn thing all the time too. So something new. You are always going to be something new. So I'm trying to say, and by being different, and you create that balance, and that's what you want, balance in life, and you want to do the right thing to make that balance. You shouldn't be afraid to be different. You shouldn't be afraid to say something positive or or do something when other people are not doing it. Because that's what's going on. That's why you're bringing yourself down. That's why there's no doors opening for you in life as well. Because you yourself, people in general, so a lot of people aren't trying to do something different. So many people are cowards. They become lazy and they become cowards because they follow the negative way of other people, and they just don't understand it. They don't understand because they don't understand. They think they understand the world when they see other people kind of like not showing that they overly don't understand them. when everybody understands each other in this like simple way, like, you know, everybody's like, you know, you cuss me down, I'll cuss you down. It's like, okay, that's the way the world runs. We all understand each other. Okay, no, you're living in, you know, you're creating nothing by doing that. You know what I mean? So I'm not saying run around and be positive and kiss people's asses and when they're, no matter what. I'm not saying follow people around. I'm not saying try and change the world in this way or the other. I'm not saying live in a daydream and your life will become amazing. You have to take steps. But what I'm trying to say is communication's always right. Try and find people that you can communicate with and never give up on it. But don't run around following people and don't dwell on other people's their negative attitude. Just learn. When you see that negativity around you, that's what I'm saying, in life, the way the world is with all these challenges, how can you not learn to balance and stand upright and fucking fix certain problems in your life? When you see people around you, that's one thing as well. When you see all this negativity around you, and you know you don't feel good about it, you know it's bad, doesn't that immediately tell you to be positive? Because if you're just frustrated and you get all this hate for the world and you just become the same nasty shit that they're carrying on as, you know, then you're not going to get anything in life. So I really believe positivity is the way. We need to be more positive in ourselves no matter what. Because we know straight away, if someone was positive to you, if someone was speaking to you in a friendly manner, you would feel good about yourself, wouldn't you? You'd feel good, not about yourself, you'd feel good. And you'd want to talk to that person again, maybe, depending on who they are. So you can make good communication with people, you can make friends. And that's the only way we can get any communication, any kind of trust levels as well in any situation, groups of friends or in a workplace or wherever. There's no reason to shit on people, compete with people. Competition. Where does competition come from? Fear. Now you might say, so does the hero come from fear? Fear is the power. It's a good thing. It brings him. But it's not really. It's the drive to want to win, to fight and defeat negativity. If you are really a true hero, and you're really not trying to be full of ego and trying to say you're afraid of nothing, you're honest and you say, I am afraid of a lot of things. You know, I'm a quiet person. I want to try and overcome these challenges. That's the beginning. You know what I'm trying to say? What I'm trying to say is, if you're afraid of just insecurity of like the world shitting on you, the world's a hard place, you know, as in like, you know, other people's attitudes towards you, or you don't trust yourself, and so then that's your own. You're creating illusions, and that's what a lot of people go into competition for, just to feel good for that moment, just to try and fuck. That's another topic there. They just want to go into that competition just to feel good, you know, to prove to the world that they can do something, or prove to themselves. It's like, come on, man, you don't have to fucking do that to know that you're a living human being. Just take care of your health. You see what you do when you do it. The things you learn when you're if you go into a fight, let's say a sports fight in an arena, in a ring, okay, positively, is it positive? No. But I'm saying if you are, there's no difference to like a fight on the street or a sports game or whatever. The truth is the ability of what you're doing. That if your mind's getting distracted from the audience watching or what's going on around you, or your mind going elsewhere, like to other emotions, feelings, or what you think people think of you, or this, then you're going to lose concentration. Whereas if you're actually focusing on what you're doing and how you're actually fighting or playing the game or whatever it is, when you're focusing on the task at hand, what you're actually doing, on the cooking, what you're doing, whatever you're doing, you know, then you're going to actually do it good. So the only thing that you really should be learning is that actual skill and that ability and that proof of what you're actually doing there. The proof's in the pudding, you know, what you've made. You're seeing what you're making as you're doing it. From that, if you just leave the competition and you learned more about, you know, oh yeah, you're the #1 champion, or you've overcome your fears, or you see, I knew I was good, I proved it to the world, I told myself. Some people leave these competitions years and years later after competitions and they still feel empty within themselves. They feel like there's nothing there. They've still got to show their trophies on the wall and their certificates. Look, I earned this in the year, blah, 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 blah. You know, Mr. Olympian, whatever the fuck it is, you know what I'm trying to say, right? But there's something not there, right, in that moment. They're not happy in that moment. Did they ever learn to grasp that moment of self-control and emotion and calmness and ability, and learn the abilities, and there's more to learn in life from practice, and you learn and gain more ability. That's the reality, what you're doing. So you can go into all kinds of levels. You can say there's a lot of abilities and skills you can learn in communication and mind games, but I'm not fucking going on to that level. I'm talking about just being natural. People are too afraid to be natural. Now, if you're afraid to be natural, if you're afraid to be who you are, I'm not saying in that mind sense, if you're not in tune with who you are, if you're not in tune with nature and in tune with the nature and what it all is and you're part of, then you're never ever going to get anywhere. All you're going to get is what does nature bring? Life, that's right, and death, but it brings the cycle of life and the flow of the energy and everything, how everything is, the energy of how the seas moving in the water, gravity, and all of what's happening, okay? It is what it is. But the opposite is death. Okay, so you've got existence and then non-existence. If you're here, why would you act like you're not here? You know what I'm trying to say? If you've got a life, why waste it? Why sit there? And why, if you can see other human beings around you and you know that there's something about them you see negative, why don't you look at them and think in a positive way rather than fuck everything, fuck people? Why don't you look at them and say, that person should be more positive, you know, he's got something, he's got a lot going for him or her. They could do a lot to help themselves in life. The sun's shining now, I can see the sun shining through the clouds. I'm just saying, you see what I'm saying? You should look at things with love and peace and positivity and the right way of looking at things. That's how I feel. As a natural survival instinct within me telling me that life is better than death, that we all do, that tells me that we should care about humanity and the emotions, you know, all of that. So it's like when you see someone, rather than hate them or look down or hate yourself in a way, like feeling that it's all a challenge, it's something I've got to compete with, rather than that, you should just say that you want good. If you want good, you do good. Give someone some, I'm not going to say friendly advice and start pushing people around, pulling it. I'm saying, you know what I mean? Like give someone some friendly communication, a smile with someone. Just go over there, oh, what are you doing? How are you doing today? Just simple chit chat can brighten up a person's fucking day, I'm telling you now. Or, you know, what do you think? Just show interest in people. You don't follow them all the damn way, follow them everywhere and tell them how to live their life. But you know what I mean, though? Share your ideas about things, or you know, ask a question humbly. People like to be asked questions sometimes. Sometimes they don't. But if someone asks you for advice or they tell you they look up to you, you'll feel good, right? You know what I mean? Don't get an ego about it. Everybody likes to feel that they're needed or their ideas and their thoughts are valued. So if you see someone down and negative, you're not doing the wrong thing by going over and trying to cheer them up. Or trying to ask what's wrong, you know, or when someone's like negative and they seem like they can't even be bothered to be friendly with you, but you try to be positive. The challenge there is you're challenging yourself, don't forget. You could have not bothered to do that. You could avoid them totally. But if you do get that in return, don't take it to heart. Fuck that. Don't take it like, it's like just look at it like, you know, well, that's the challenge there. You should feel good about yourself because you're being positive. And you can't help everybody, but we can all try and help ourselves in a way. I'm going to stop this video now. Little ramble, talk, rant, whatever you want to call it, on positivity, okay? If you're positive, I'm sure more people, if you constantly are positive in different ways, even simple chit-chat, or even with people you don't even know, you might have met for the first time, let's say, but you'll notice how people gravitate to that naturally, and at the right times too. We all gravitate more so as well towards positivity at certain times. I'll say that. But I mean, when you're going to gravitate to negativity, I'm going to stop this one here, yeah? The opposite's going to get you the opposite, as I say. We'll stop that one there, yeah? More videos to come. I'm going to stop this one here. Peace. Remember, just think about it yourself. It's not coming out of my mouth, for fuck's sake. It's your life, yeah?